5 ways I stopped assuming I've got this and started making realistic plans for my ADHD. Number 1, I put my keys and wallet in the same place when I get in, always. Try not to do that thing where I'm like, oh, I'll remember this time because I put it in this really safe place. Because you know what's going to happen is I'm just going to remember I put it in a safe place and I'll have no idea where that really safe place is. Or I just took out of here for a minute. No, it's got to go back right away because no, I will not remember later. No. Number 2, if I need to remember something at a specific time and place, I will not assume that I can remember to make the reminder later because I need the reminder to remember, not to remember to make the reminder. See? I can't assume that that calendar event will be made later or I'll make that reminder later because I probably won't. I try to pause right now and ask Siri, hey Siri, remind me blah, blah, blah. No, I try to pause right then, say, hey Siri, remind me when I get home. Hey Siri, remind me at 2 o'clock. If it's something that needs to go in my calendar, I try to put it in the calendar right then. Set the alert right then. Because no, I will not remember later. No. Number 3, if I'm going somewhere I don't drive all the time, I turn directions on. Even if I know where I'm going, because I might go on autopilot and drive off that other direction, and then I don't remember where I'm going and I end up being late. No. If I'm going somewhere I don't go very often, I put on the directions. If I'm worried I don't remember that, I put the directions in the calendar event so that all I have to do is tap it and then it'll give me directions to that place. Otherwise, who knows where I'll end up if my mind starts wandering. Number 4, because I'm so good at assuming that things take less time or I forget that things need transition times, I'll often block off transition times in my calendar. I even have a way to automate this for my client meetings. I have time to prepare for the client meeting. I have time to log the client meeting afterwards. I try to block off those transition times because I won't remember that it actually takes me time to transition. And then I end up running late and don't know why. So I try to think ahead when I do my weekly calendar review, look in what needs transition times, especially commute times, because I wasn't good at that before pandemic. After lockdown, I am not better. So I try to block off all the transition times inside of my calendar so I don't forget that those times exist and think I have time to do things that I do not have time for. Oh, and I try not to make those transition times longer than they really are, or otherwise I'll ignore the entire transition time because this is all about part of my brain trying to fight me on everything. And number 5, if I think I need to do blank, I don't pause it with, I just need to do that thing. I pause and think, how? How will I get that thing done? Do I need to make a phone call first? Do I need to find a phone number before I can make a phone call? What is needed in order to do that task instead of just writing down, I need to do that task because I'll see it later. And if I don't have a how in there, I'll often just ignore it. So pausing to think how when I think to myself and write down that I need to do a task. There we go. 5 ways that I don't assume I've just got this with ADHD, but I actually find ways to make sure I have help to really get it.